Welcome back. In this video, we're going to discuss Personally Identifiable Information, or PII. Now, there's only one you, and there's only one me, but there's plenty of bad guys and good guys out there that are constantly trying to get their hands on your personally identifiable information. This might lead you to believe that PII is something that needs to be protected. But first, we have to kind of define or figure out what PII really is. And then we can talk about how we go about protecting it. What is personally identifiable information? Basically, that's any piece of information that can be used to identify an individual or a person. This could include any of the following. It could include your first and last name, your mailing address, your phone number, your social security number, your driver's license number, or even your date of birth. Any combination of these items could link back to you as an individual. But there are other things that could also be considered personal identifiable information. Some of those things could include your passport number or a federal ID you may have, your credit card information, your email address, the IP address that you connect to the internet from, other financial information, and some medical records. We also have this category called non-sensitive personally identifiable information. That information could include things like your zip code, your race, your gender, your place of birth, your religion, or your political affiliation. Now that we understand what personally identifiable information is, let's take a look at who already has your information, and more importantly, who wants your information. Who has your information? Federal and state agencies have your information. They collect that through taxes, through registration information, and other methods. Banks collect your personal information when you sign up for accounts. Utilities and services collect your personal information when you sign up for utilities or services. The credit reporting agencies collect data from the banks and the utilities about you as a person, and then they can report that information out to others. Consumer-based organizations like Amazon, Target, Macy's, or Kroger's, anywhere you purchase items where you might have set up an account or signed up for a customer loyalty or customer rewards program. Internet search engines collect a lot of information about you and what you search for. Political organizations also collect information about individuals and how they vote on certain issues. But who really wants your information is the hacker. These are the people that try to get your information from anywhere they can, using any means necessary to get it. And why do they work so hard to get your information? Because your information is worth money. How much money? Well, that depends on the information that they collect. For instance, social security numbers can go for $1. Medical records, medical information, $1 or better. Credit cards with VCCs, those are anywhere from 11 cents to almost $1,000 each. A hacked PayPal account can go from anywhere from $5 to almost $1,800. A driver's license number can go for up to $20. Payment services, about $20 as well. Credit card information with full individual information, that package can go for about $30 a piece. U.S. passport numbers go for about $1,000 each. And what can the bad guys do once they have your personal information? Well, they can obtain a new credit card or a new loan. They can do really malicious things like change your billing address. They can open new utility accounts in your name and then have the bill go to you, have you be responsible for paying that utility. They can obtain a new mobile phone and new phone number. under your name, of course. They can open new bank accounts and write bad checks on those accounts to which you would be responsible for. They can use your debit card number to withdraw funds. That way they can clean out your bank account. Lastly, they could use your credit card to make purchases. Usually when they make those purchases, they then turn around and return them to get cash. And now they've gotten cash out of your credit card. As you can see, your personal information has really become a commodity, and it's being stored all over the place. The federal government has it, your grocery store has it, and the bad guys want to get their hands on it. So there's a lot of demand for your personal information. The question now is, how do we go about protecting it? Governments have started to recognize how critical it is to protect individuals' private information. In fact, they've started to implement legislation that helps protect personal information. In Europe, they've implemented the GDPR, or the General Data Protection Regulation. That legislation was enacted back in 2018. California likewise implemented the California Consumer Protection Act. It was also implemented back in 2018. Other states like Colorado and Virginia have implemented legislation to help protect individuals' private information as well. This map from the International Association of Privacy Professionals shows that for 2022, 5 states in the U.S. have signed privacy legislation, including California, Utah, Colorado, Virginia, and Connecticut. 7 other states have privacy legislation currently in committee, including Michigan, Ohio, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, New York, Massachusetts, and New Jersey. Another method to help protect your private information is by doing what's called a credit freeze. In order to do that, you have to contact each of the credit reporting agencies, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. You'll have to contact them individually and fill out a form online that basically puts a freeze on your credit report. What this will do is not so much protect your information from being stolen, but it will protect your information from being used against you. Should someone steal your personal information and attempt to do something like open a credit account, get a new loan, do anything that triggers a credit report as part of the process, then the credit reporting bureaus would block those applications and not report your credit information. By not getting credit information, whatever that activity was, be it a loan or a new credit card or a new phone or utilities, those requests and those actions would then get blocked by the credit freeze. Now, the only drawback is you have to remember that if you go trying to apply for a loan yourself, you have to make sure that you unfreeze your credit report before you go apply for that new loan. And then once that loan is approved and the process is completed, then you have to make sure you go back out to each of those sites and refreeze your credit report. But freezing your credit report is another way to help protect your private information. The last method that we want to discuss in trying to protect your personally identifiable information is incorporating a monitoring service. There's several of them out there: Aura, Identity Guard, Identity Defense, LifeLock. They're all good options. I know you've probably seen ads for these on TV. The only drawback is that they're fee-based, and so they're going to cost you anywhere from $4 to $35 per month, depending on what services they offer. In general, what they do is they monitor your accounts to watch for any unusual activity on your bank accounts, your credit cards, and other accounts that you give them to monitor. Some of them will actually do persistent monitoring of something we call the dark web to see if any of your personal information shows up out there for sale. We talked earlier about how bad guys like to make money off of your personal information. Well, the monitoring service will monitor the dark web to see if any of your information comes up for sale. Another service that these monitoring agencies offer is called recovery assistance. Basically, they have people on staff who will assist you should your personal information ever get compromised, and they will help you go through the process of reporting your identity theft claim, making claims to banks and various financial institutions, and whatever other paperwork has to be done in order to recover from your theft or from that loss. Some of these monitoring agencies have something that's called identity theft insurance, where they will cover up to a certain dollar amount. With some of the higher end ones, it's up to $1 million in identity theft insurance. That money can be used to help cover any losses that you experience from having your identity stolen while they're monitoring your personal information. Your personally identifiable information is collected for a lot of valid and legitimate reasons. But you still have to be careful and do everything that you can to protect that information from bad guys that want to take that information and do bad stuff with it. Be careful who you share this information with. Be careful how much information you put out on social media. Remember, it's better to be safe than sorry. If you have questions, comments, or topics you'd like me to cover in a future video, leave them in the comments below and I'll try to get to them as soon as I can. Make sure you hit the subscribe button below and click the notification bell while you're there so you get notified when I post new content. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Until we meet again, be safe out there.